Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into something seriously exciting, 6G. Yeah, you heard that right, 6G. We're already talking about the next big thing after 5G.
I know, right? It feels like 5G just got here and now we're on to the next generation. But from what I've been reading, 6G isn't just a minor upgrade. It's a whole different ballgame. I mean, we're talking a projected market of over $5 billion by 2031.
It's wild, isn't it? A growth rate of over 32%. That is huge. And it makes sense when you think about it. We're generating so much data, we've got edge computing taking off, and everyone wants that instant connection, 6G is stepping up to the plate.
So for everyone who's like, okay, but what actually is 6G? Let's break that down. What are we looking at in terms of capabilities that make it so different from 5G?
Right, so picture this. 5G is like a really good highway, right? Fast, efficient, gets you where you need to go. 6G is like teleportation. Okay, maybe not quite, but we're talking data rates up to 1 terabit per second. 1 terabit! And the latency. Oh man, this is the cool part. It's down to 100 microseconds. That's basically instantaneous.
100 microseconds. So basically the time it takes for light to travel. Not even that far. That's impressive. But how are they even pulling that off? What's the secret sauce?
It's all about that terahertz spectrum. See, 6G is moving beyond the frequencies we use now, going above 100 gigahertz. This is where it gets tricky though. These waves, they're finicky. They don't travel as far, they get absorbed by, everything. Water in the atmosphere even.
Wait, so we're talking about signals that can be blocked by humidity? That seems like a major hurdle.
It is. But that's where the innovation comes in. We're seeing all this research into new materials, new antenna designs. It's kind of like when we first started with cell phones. Remember those giant bricks? We'll figure it out. There are just some growing pains,
Okay, so high frequencies, some technical hurdles, but the potential is enormous. I keep seeing this term network slicing pop up when it comes to 6G. What's the deal there?
Network slicing, right? Here's the thing about network slicing. It's like having multiple virtual networks all running on the same physical infrastructure. So, you can have one slice for, say, ultra-reliable low-latency communication. Think remote surgery or autonomous vehicles. Then, another slice for massive IoT, connecting millions of devices. And it's all happening simultaneously.
So it's like, instead of having one network trying to do everything, you have specialized networks within the network, tailored to the specific needs of the application. That's actually brilliant.
Exactly. And in 6G, it gets even better. We're talking dynamic allocation of resources, all driven by AI. The network predicts what you need before you even know it. I was just reading about this, and it's a game changer, for lack of a better term.
It's like the network is thinking for itself, in a way. Adapting in real time. That's a bit sci-fi, isn't it? I mean, we're getting closer to that intelligent fabric that Dr. Shirvani Mogadam was talking about.
Oh, you saw that paper? That's a good one. Yeah, he's talking about this seamless integration between the physical and digital worlds. And it's not just about speed, it's about intelligence. 6G will be using AI for everything. Network optimization, predictive maintenance, even security.
Speaking of security, with all this data flying around, all these connected devices, are we looking at a security nightmare? That's what I'd be worried about.
It's a valid concern. More connectivity means more potential vulnerabilities. But that's where some of the more out-there research comes in. Think about it this way. Quantum communication, that's being looked at for 6Gs. That could offer unbreakable encryption. The potential is there.
Okay, hold up. Quantum communication? Are we talking about, actual quantum physics getting involved in our everyday communications?
That's exactly what we're talking about. It is still early days, but the idea is to use quantum properties to secure communication channels. It is pretty wild, right?
It sounds complex, but fascinating. You know what this reminds me of? That South Korea investment, over $130 million into 6G research. They're clearly seeing the potential here.
They're not the only ones. You've got Nokia working on SUSTAIN 6G, that whole project about making 6G sustainable. Which is essential, right? We don't want a super fast network that's also super power hungry.
That's a great point. Dr. Putu's quote about aiming for a 100-fold improvement in energy efficiency over 5G really stuck with me. It's not just about making things faster, it's about making them better, more responsible.
Right? We're looking at a future where our networks are not just connecting us, but doing it intelligently and sustainably. But here is something to ponder. How is all this going to impact the digital divide? 6G could widen the gap between the haves and have-nots.
That's a really important point. We need to make sure this technology is accessible, that it benefits everyone, not just a select few. There's a lot to think about there.
For sure. But, on the flip side, can you imagine the possibilities? Holographic communication. That's a real possibility with 6G. Think about meetings, education, even just calling your family. It could be like you're right there in the room with them.
Or the Internet of Senses. That blew my mind when I first read about it. Transmitting not just sight and sound, but touch, smell, taste, over a network. The implications for virtual reality, for remote healthcare. It's staggering.
It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of digital experiences. And it's not just about entertainment. Think about the impact on industries, remote surgery, smart factories, autonomous transportation. All of that becomes more viable with 6G.
So it seems like we're at this interesting point where the technology is still developing, but the excitement is definitely building. I saw that survey where 78% of IT professionals were excited about 6G's potential.
But, there's always that other side of the coin. 62% in that same survey were concerned about implementation and costs. And that's understandable. It is going to be a massive undertaking.
And then you have the consumer side. I think there's still a bit of a disconnect there. People are excited about things like better AR and VR, but they're not quite sure why they need all that speed for everyday tasks.
It'll take time. Just like with 4G and 5G. It'll take time for the use cases to really emerge, for people to see the value in their daily lives. But trust me, once those killer apps start rolling out, everyone will want in.
So, what's the bottom line here? Where do we stand with 6G?
I'd say we're at the beginning of a very exciting journey. There are challenges, no doubt. Technical hurdles, ethical considerations. But the potential is immense. We're talking about a technology that could transform how we live, work, and interact with the world.
And it's not just about technology for technology's sake. It's about what we can do with it, how we can use it to improve lives, to solve problems. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think 6G has the potential to be something truly special.
Well said. It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure. And we'll be here to break it all down for you, every step of the way.
Absolutely. So keep it locked right here. And until next time, stay curious, everyone.